Hello YouTube, it's Samurai MPH again from VG First and Firehawk Industries. Today we're going to be looking into being your friendly neighborhood diesel mechanic with Diesel Brothers. As you guys know, Diesel Brothers was finally released on Steam sometime last week, and haven't gotten any other videos. I mean, this is going to be the first video for this game that I've really done. God Love Life, and speaking of, I know there's been a hiatus of me doing videos with the group, but again, life. Anyways, so today we're going to be looking at the new free mode update for Diesel Brothers, and on top of that, we're also going to be showing, or I'm going to be showing you how to build a truck from literally the ground up. For those who have this game and who don't know this, but you can actually build a truck from the ground up without having to spend the initial 30 or 10, 15, 20, $30,000 on a pre-built piece of junk that you could get off of the computer or in the scrapyard. So let's get into this. So first of all, you're going to notice you have 10,000 fans by default. You have $20,000 to start with, and you also start off with a basic garage. Over there you can see a project that I was working on earlier today. So with this, what you want to do first of all is upgrade, one of your slots to the max, or both of them, like I did in this case. Lift, and then you want the engine hoist and the tranny hoist as well, so you can start off with the frame. So, what I'm going to show you here, basically how to build that. Like I said, I started this earlier today, and I literally started from the ground up. So, and that one has an 8-inch lift. I think on this one we'll do a 4-inch lift, and we'll also make a quad cab. So what you want to do is you want to go to your computer here, which also, if you notice, it's a CRT monitor, and it actually does the whole flicker with a refresh rate like the old CRT monitors did. For those who are watching who are younger, who don't know what a CRT monitor is, ask your older siblings or older family members about the beginnings of the TV and computer screens up until today. So, you want to go to the part shop first of all. You want to go to buy, and then with this, you want to go to suspension, frame, and then since we have everything unlocked with free mode, and this is a personal thing too, you can go with any parts, but I like to work with the Titan series frames and parts because they're typically they are the top of the line parts in this game. So here you want to order your front end, your rear end. And then since we're going to be doing a quad cab, we're also going to need the spacers for it. So we need the mid right and the mid left. And as you can see, you still lose money here, but every night it resets back to 20 million. Okay, so the next thing you want to get are the axles, and again, since we're doing a Titan build, let's go with the Titan front and Titan rear. Next, you're going to need the knuckles, and we're doing a 4-inch lift kit on here. So you need the 4-inch left, 4-inch right. Next, you want your low arm, and again, we're going to Titan build, so you need the low arm for the right and for the left. From here, we can move on to the shock absorber, which, let's see here, there's the 4-inch Titan. There is no right and left with the shock absorbers, so they're pretty universal, so you can just order 2 of these. Next we need the springs, and then this is just for the rear, so we only need 2 of them. So let's see, where is the 4-inch Titan? Here we are. So we want the right and the left. Next we want the struts, and just skip over to the last page here. We need the left and the right. So unlike the shocks, the struts actually have a right and left variant. So you want to make sure you get 1 of each. Next, we need to get the upper arm, and this one, it's going to be the 4-inch left, right. Again, they're not interchangeable. And the sway bar. Okay, so suspension is taken care of. Now, let's see. Can't have a truck without an engine. So here we'll start off with the CPU. We'll get the premium CPU. And the engine, let's throw in the Ultimate because we want the power of diesel.
Then obviously you're going to need, well, for those who are not car mechanically inclined, you need engine mounts so the engine sits properly on the frame. It doesn't shake, rattle, and roll. Of course, there's a lot more than just two in an engine, but again, this is a simulator, and to be fair, what they've done so far with just on release is pretty amazing on the detailing that they did with this. Okay, so you want to go for the injectors, and we're going to need two of them, one for the right, one for the left. And let's go for the performance series. Radiator, let's do North Muscle. Turbocharger, we'll go with the total. Okay, so now our engine bay is taken care of. Drivetrain. So we're doing a 4-inch lift on here. So we're going to need the 4-inch rear. We need a standard mid because we're doing a quad cab, so it needs that extra length for the rear drive shaft. And then we need the 4-inch front since it's 4x4. Steering. This is for, you know, how you steer your truck and everything, so we'll go the Titans on this. And if you notice, each one of the parts, once you get above basic, they actually have their own stats, and it's on a scale of 8. Obviously, you know, 8 of 8, like the Titan series is the best ones that you want to go for. Transmission, we'll do the ultimate. Gotta love the acceleration and top speed. I think Jeremy Clarkson would be proud to just yell his, you know, feel the power! Anyways. Okay, so brakes and parts. Brake pads, we'll go with overblock. So these don't have a front and a rear, so you could just buy 2 of each. So 2 for the right side, 2 for the left side. Rotor discs. Now here, this is where they actually do come with the front and rear, but not right and left, since they're highly interchangeable. Even on cars in real life, you can swap the rotor pads out between the different tires if they're not different sizes. So like here we have the front Titan, so we need 2 for the front, and then we also need 2 for the rear. And then for the rotor splash shields, we're going to need 2 for the front, 2 for the rear. And again, so we have the front. Actually, look, this whole page here, we have everything we need. So we just need these 2 here, and these 2 here. And that's the full set. 1 for each side, and 2 for the front, 2 for the rear. You would hope so anyways, right? Let's see, wheels and tires. I personally like to go with one of my guys, Boss Ranger Matt. He likes to go with the 8-spoke bolts because that's more proper for diesel. But there's this one particular rim style that I like that requires 6 bolts. So we'll just go with 4 of these. And then there's under off-road wheels. And the ones that I like are the Land Cruisers here, which are on the truck that I had on the lift out on the floor. Tire-wise, you know, it's just like the other parts. The further to the right you go on the pages, the better the tires and everything. Let's see, which one did I go with on that truck out there? I think I went with the Explorer Bigs. Granted, they're 5 out of 8, or sorry, not 5, 6 out of 8, but they're still pretty decent tires. So let's go with 4 of these. And it looks like I'm hitting no, or I'm pressing no, but I'm actually hitting E on my keyboard for the yes. And you could tell if you're buying them by the little cash register sound, if you heard that. Okay, so we got our tires, we got our supports, we got our rims. Oh, here we are. So we're doing a 4-inch lift, and we're going to need these 4-inch front parts. So we need the front right, front left. And that's what we need there. Let's see. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, gotta love scammers. They've been calling me all day today. This is a 9th
to 10th time today they called. And, you know, I kind of give them kudos for this. They actually used the correct spelling of my mother's name. But where they screwed up is they're calling the house phone number from the house phone number. Anyways, so where were we? Okay, so the rear axle lift you don't have to worry about unless you're doing the 12-inch lift like you saw there, because it's its own special carrier for the rear axle. So the frame bar we want, I believe we don't have to use this one because these are for the standard frames. So low arm lift, we want to go with the 4-inch Titan. So we're going to need the front left and the rear right. Oh, bloody hell, I just got the wrong one. Oh, there we go. Always make sure you're getting the right parts for, especially if you're doing it in career mode or, you know, single player. The parts tend to add up very quickly if you're not paying attention. And if you notice here, the steering arm is only for 8 and 12 inches, so we don't need that. Same with the spring lift, the suspension front and the suspension rear. These are all for the 8-inch parts. Just for safety, I'm going to I am going to get the standard Titan frame bar just in case. Okay, so we got all that. Oh, so the tools, in case you ever lose your impact drill, you can actually buy it back here, which is nice to have. We didn't have that before. That was just implemented last night on the 12th, I believe. Anyways, so now here's the fun part. We could go into the body right now and pick whatever frame or not frame, but we can pick whatever truck we want. And right now, there's 3 different brands in the game. So you can also look by the search here and find whatever body style you want. So we have the Archon Sterling, which is like a GMC Sierra. You have the Hill Encore, which is like the Dodge Ram series, like the 1500s, 2500s, 3500s. It looks like that. Then you have the Salin, 77, which is basically like a Ford. So with this one, I think we're going to go with the regular cab, which is the quad cab. Then we're going to go for the bed, and then we're also going to go for the same bed, or the standard bed. I'm hoping later on they'll add different sized beds, so that way we can make, you know, short beds, long beds, or standard bed. Well, we have the standard beds now, but you get what I'm saying. Then for the door, we're going to search via our truck or our body style. So with this one, this is the page we want right here. We want the rear left because the quad cab is the only one that takes the rears. And we went the front right regular, and we went the front left regular as well. The short ones are for the single cabs. Now fender wise, one fender that actually looks really good on the truck, in my opinion anyways, are the armed bumpers. Calhan 45, he actually likes the looks of the exposed fenders, and we actually sold a truck last night that was based off of this one. That sold for $103,000 on the auction house. So as you can see here with the grills, there's really not much difference between them. It's just different stylings, or not even different stylings, just different names. So let's go with the premium grill because, you know, we're doing a premium build. And the hoods actually have some differences. Like, well, the standard and these 3 right here look the same. The Ram Air 1, however, actually has a hood scoop on it. Let's see, do we want to go premium or do we want to go low? Now let's go with the premium one. And then the tailgate, oh, what's actually cool, they actually do have a Baja one, which would be the wheel holder tailgate. Personally though, I haven't figured out a way to put tires onto the tailgate, because you actually have 2 tire holders in the back there, and when you open it up, it kind of rolls the holders back like you were going to offload the tires to swap them out on your truck. Let's see. So since we're going premium, we're going to do a high-end one here. Bumpers. Now, I am very partial to the bully front. I mean, it just gives that truck the nice, beefy look. Like I could do work and I could still protect. Whereas the rock crawler ones and the Badgers, I mean, they're nice, but they don't offer that full protection. They're like the quarter bars or the quarter bumpers, pretty much. So we'll get the bully on this one. And then for the rear bumper, I haven't tried the modern pusher, but the slotted rear looks good on the trucks because it has that nice steel tubing body. So it's like the old school the old school bumpers on like pickups from the 80s. Like we had a 84 Nissan Datsun that had a solid front bumper, the aluminum bumper, but the rear it actually had two sets of rolled steel pipe as the rear bumper on the trailer hitch there. Let's see how the modern pusher looks on the back of this truck. And the front lights. Oh, also with today's update, they added in some new headlights. Like before, there was only. Okay, so the flash is right there, and then the flash is over here. So before, there's only the flat line right. I don't know why there wasn't a flat line left, but now that's in here. So let's go with the Flash series, because honestly, I haven't seen that one, but that might look fairly nice in the truck. So the rear lights, we can actually match the lights up with the front ones. So let's see if we can find Flash. Not. Alright, well, let's go with Flatline. Okay, ooh, and then here's another good one. So with this, we will do... let's do the gates. Here we are. Okay, so that's all taken care of. And as you probably heard during some of the low points of me talking, there were, or the parts were starting to fall. Okay, here we are. Now, honestly, okay, so what I found out is that these seats here, they actually go in the bed, and they act like a roll bar. So I'm going to go with the standards, because the standards are always nice, in my opinion. And when it comes to the roof racks, so the standard ones are your standard luggage racks, those bars that go across the from one side to the other. Now, the modern one, this is actually a roof luggage rack with floodlights on it. And then with the premium ones here, it's basically like a utility rack that you see on some work trucks. Let's see, side steps. Ooh, I've always wanted to use the tubes on the trucks, because the sad thing is the tubes are only meant for the quad cabs. The ones that are meant for the short cabs, you'll see like standard short here, or even the premium. The premium comes in a short style. Then if you really wanted to, if you were doing like a high-end or like a speed build, they even have wheelie bars in here. And then they also have bed covers. Okay, I believe that should be it. So, as you can see, all of our parts are... Oh, there goes another one. Okay, so we're going to be working on the frame first, so let me get this out of here. There we are. This right back here, and then I need to find the midsections. Which, the only problem in ordering bulk like this, you can find all your parts when they're burying each other. Oh, there it is. Oop, there it is. Also, what I've noticed too is you can actually get an order in your career mode where you have to replace the frame. And for the longest time, I was having so much trouble trying to figure out why it wouldn't let me reattach. Well, I figured, actually, it's because I still had the cab on. And to get the cab off, you have to take the doors off, you have to undo the screws, which there's 2 in the front, and then you have if it's a two-door like the truck over there, you have two in the middle, and then with the quad cab you have four of them. Anyway, it's just a pain, especially since you have to take the doors off the hood and all that other fun stuff. Anyways, so for our frame, we want to go to the computer, go to the management, transfer, then storage. And here's all of our parts here. So now, let's move the engine over here to the stand. And we'll take the front end and put it onto the lift here. And to preempt this, we're going to put the cab in the paint shop for now. And then what I also like to do is I actually like to take all my doors and get them stacked over here on the trailer. So that way it's ready for whenever, well, one, it clears the clutter in the back. Two, when you're ready to go paint your cab and everything, parts will already be in the trailer back there. And so you could go paint the cab, and then you can paint all your trim, basically, like the front fenders, the tailgate, all four doors in this case, and the headlamp covers that I ordered, which that's the fender, which they should be in the back there somewhere. Oh, I forgot to order the exhaust kit. We'll do that here in a second. There's the hood, there's the door. Let's see. I don't okay, not that I don't quote-unquote understand, but, you know, kudos for all those YouTubers who's been on the platform for years and have, like, millions of followers and everything, who are able to not let the silence drag on for more than necessary, but without making it feel like they have to keep talking. Although you kind of do have to keep talking, so that way, say there's like some light music in the background, like in here, you actually have a radio that you could in all your workstations except for the decal center. That's just basically, you know, you're taking stickers from a book and then you're putting them on your truck. Anyways, where is it going? Alright, so, I mean, kudos to those guys who can actually keep talking without running out of ideas of what to say or just making the whole thing awkward. You know what I mean? And this, honestly, this right here, what I'm doing, is honestly the most time-consuming part of doing a build. Having to run back and forth from the back, putting everything in the trailer, then putting everything on the lift and everything. Trying to find all your parts, which, let's see. Still trying to find, there that one is. There we go. Just trying to find the other headlight cover, and lo and behold, it's hiding in the back there. Oh, so, cool thing is, if you guys haven't played this game yet, I'd highly suggest playing it with friends. What's really cool is you can have 4 players, which are basically the crew of Diesel Brothers. You have Heavy D, Redbeard, Muscle, who I'm playing as right now, and I can't remember the last one. Anyways, I'm sorry, you guys, if you do stumble upon these streams. I apologize for not remembering or not knowing all your names off the bat. Anyways, so each one of them has their own special perk, more or less. Like the Muscle, he has orders, or he allows orders to be expedited. So instead of sitting there waiting for hours and hours and hours, they'll come a little bit faster. I didn't really get to see how fast they were coming because my face was buried into the screen over there, ordering all the parts. So that's one thing we can do. Also, that table is not there. I just put it there for easeability. It's nice having a spot to put your drill and everything instead of throwing it on the floor and then wondering how it ended up on the other side of the shop. Okay, so exhausts, before I forget. So for a quad cab, you're going to need everything here: catalyst, the mid, manifold, muffler, pipe, resonator. The tips are optional, but they make it look nice. With the single cab, you don't need the exhaust mid. It's mainly a way to extend your exhaust pipe from the catalyst. So, let's see. Let's go with... I haven't done a Zephyr build yet, so let's go with a Zephyr. Let's see. And the nice thing is, too, if you really wanted to, you can actually find all the parts in the scrapyard. But they're really low quality, but they're cheap. So if we're first starting out and you need some nice parts, but you don't have the money, like a lot of money at disposal to spend, I suggest going to the scrapyard and going there and finding the parts there. Tips wise, I suggest UHP. It gives that nice square exhaust look. The roller is more of like a nice rounded tip that's cut off at an angle. Geometric, it makes it look like a geometric shape. Duo, that's your twin pipe. I haven't messed with the Olympic yet, or the Spectrum, but these top three right here, the Eagle, Dragon, Cobra, they actually have the faces of those animals. So like the Dragon, you have two dragon heads with their mouths open that are, facing off the back of the truck and everything. Actually makes it look kind of neat. Okay, so as you saw, I assembled the frame here, so the mids will make this into a quad cab, and there's no screwing that you need to do here. So while you have this exposed, you could put the engine mounts down, because, I mean, you can put the engine down, but the truck will remain incomplete until you actually put the mounts in. Oh, there's my exhaust. Again, the only problem with ordering all these parts in bulk, it's hard to find. And what I've noticed is that they constantly offset, or not constantly, but whenever the parts are coming in, they are offset. So like, one goes to the right, one goes to the left, then rinse and repeat. It's funny. Well, not really funny, but it's entertaining. All the exhaust pipes, no matter what brand they are, they all sound the same when they come clunking down. So the nice thing is too, while you have this up like this, you can actually work on the full exhaust system and get all that in place. That way you don't have to really worry about having the truck lifted to work underneath. And then same with the transmission and everything. One thing I did notice, they were supposed to fix this a couple times. There's a tip. Just a tip. Anyways, they said that they fixed this a couple of times, but I still notice it kind of persists. If you have a quad cab and you're trying to put on the mid section of the exhaust, I do notice that it tends, with the transmission on anyways, to, instead of going where they're supposed to be, which you're going to see right here, it goes in between the exhaust pipe and the catalyst. But I've noticed that it actually goes into the transmission if you have one already installed. But the funny thing is, even though it's in the wrong spot, the truck still, or the game still recognizes that it was installed, quote unquote, properly. And if you do it right, you can actually screw them in on top of each other. And yeah, the truck will still run. One thing to note too, if you have anything that's missing or not fully attached, it will say that the truck is incomplete, and it won't let you do anything else with it. Radiator. I'm going to put the radiator on the side here really quick, because okay, I have the engine block here. What you want to do with this is you take your engine hoist, and also make sure not to smack it on anything, because you will lose your grip on it. So you put it there, and then you stand off to the side like you were actually using it, and then you just hold your left mouse button anywhere on the right side here, pretty much, until it comes up to the full position, and you attach it. This, and slide it over here to the frame. it on. And Bob's your uncle. Oh. Okay, so the engine is actually, believe it or not, geared. There's no bolts or anything to tie it down. However, it does tie down to, or the only thing that really it secures to is the transmission, which is currently in storage. So then you go to management, transfer, storage, there's tranny. It goes on the same mount, but you need the transmission jack to actually move it around. Okay, let's see. Injectors. Problem is with these guys, they're so tiny. They look like they basically look like little metal lines of, or little metal string with some nubs on them. And since I ordered those first, they're like buried underneath everything here. Or they went flying somewhere. Or I could just be blowing this out my my ass, and I may have not ordered them. No, I did. I do remember ordering them. So, oh, there's one. Yeah, see what I mean? So these little guys here, they control, or they don't control. They are what injects the fuel into the cylinders. Let's see, if that one was over there, that means the other one is over here. There's shocks. There's a spacer. This is the roof rack I was talking about, how it gives you the nice floodlights. Since there's no night and day cycles, the headlights are mainly aesthetic at this point. Okay, maybe it's over here. Oh, let's see. This. There. Okay, here's this one. So the cool thing is about the resonators and the tips. You can actually put the tips on the resonator without having it screwed in. Unlike everything else goes to the frame of the truck. Give me 1 second. Gotta love being blessed with allergies. If you can't tell the sarcasm there, there's sarcasm there. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I didn't order the other injector. Or maybe it's stacked on top of some parts. That's the other thing I noticed about this game. It loves to stack parts on top of each other. Let's see, so we found the other one up here. Well, might as well finish the exhaust system while we're working on it. And as we get more and more parts out, we should be able to find our missing injector. What's cool is that each one of these different pipes, or like the basic, or Vessel, Strike, Zephyr, and Wing, all have their own unique style. Like with this one, you can tell it has like a carbon fiber, kind of like hexagonal pattern to it. It makes it more like, to me it has like a cyber-ish feel, or so, you know, along those lines. Winged, that actually looks like it's been heat treated, which is actually kind of cool because it has the different greens, purples, and all that other fun stuff on there, which, maybe after we're done with this, I'll show you underneath the truck over there. get tire on the rim. That'll help clear up some of the clutter. Yes, thank you, Windows, for telling me that I need updates while I'm recording. You know, maybe sometime this weekend, depending if we're all available or not. I'm thinking about talking to the guys and doing a live stream. No, I can never get it. Actually, I did fix my network settings, so maybe I can do it on Twitch. Especially since the cool thing is with Diesel Brothers is that they actually have a Twitch feed integrated to the game already. So for those of you guys who use Twitch and want to do live streams, well, here's the game for you. I mean, it's not just for you. If you're a car enthusiast, like I like to consider myself a car enthusiast. I mean, I help Dad work on our own vehicles and everything. I try to learn as much as possible. Yeah, see what I mean? So this one, this is where the transmission actually sits. It's supposed to be right over there, across from the other one. So what I'm going to do, while I have the transmission out, I'm actually going to screw this in. I don't have to really worry about it. I need to go to the other side. And there we go. And I've really noticed that it only does it with the exhaust mids on 4x4, or not 4x4s, quad cabs. Okay, let's see. Oh, turbocharger, that's kind of nice to have. Go up here. And, you know, the funny thing is with this vehicle, you know, you have to screw down like good majority of the parts and everything. Or bolt down parts, but surprisingly, you don't have to bolt down the turbocharger. Just kind of, you know, sucked up there and it's good to go. Let's see. Nothing? Alright, well, let's get this over here. Okay, headlight. Okay, so got pretty much the majority of the exhaust in. Unless it's like bouncing into oblivion somewhere, I have no idea where half of my parts went. So, let's see. Alright, let's talk about the front end here while I'm working on it. I ordered two of the same parts. Oh, that's the wrong reinforced one. I have to put it over there. Oop, autosave, and there we go. Let's see. Front and left. Goes there. Here we are. And this goes on right here. So, let's see. Yep. What else? Springs will go in later. Yeah, we'll do the rear end. Well, just do the whole suspension really quick, since, you know, parts are easy, or the parts are all right here, and it's really simple to put together. So let's see, this is the left. Let's go with the right one in, since we already have the shock on that side. It goes here. And if you can't tell, there's going to be a lot. I mean, one thing I do hope that they had is like a cart that you could put parts on, and, you know, wheel it around the garage, or, you know, load it up with parts and then wheel it around the garage, so you don't have to constantly do what I'm doing right now, which is put the part on, go back, grab another one, run back, put it on, run back, rinse and repeat. Put that there. The wishbone. This is the left side. There we are. The right side. There. this one here. Stick this one here. Drop this one right there in the same spot. Oh, so funny thing is with some. Oh wait! I spy the fuel injector. It's hiding underneath the shaft extension. Go figure. Okay. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, so the fun thing is, we have the knuckles here, and they bounce around the shop like they're made out of flubber. See? Of course, I had a little momentum behind that one, but still. I mean, there's times where I just go like this, and it bounces across the entire shop. Like, if you're not paying attention, you'll definitely lose it, or you know, you can even go catch it because it's moving so fast. Let's see. Brakes, transmission, rim, tire. Ah, here we are. So here's a fun little thing. You can do this even with the rims on it. You run a little bit forward. You can actually roll the tires across the shop. And if you're like me and the guys, me, Matt, me, Boss Ranger Matt, Cowhand 45, aka Evan, and then Bacon, aka Bunk. We were doing missions in here, which also is another thing that I'm glad they worked on. Because before, we were just getting the same mission of, you know, take out the hood and the doors, paint the hood and doors, and then put stickers on it. I mean, we got that down to like an art. We would find that, we would get that order, which one other thing I do hope that they do in the future is make it to where you can work on more than one order at a time. Because, I mean, that would make it so much nicer, or so much easier to make nicer, easier to make money. Yeah, see what I mean? Look at this. The Zephyr exhaust went from over there when it was spawned in and flew all the way over here. Like, how does that even happen? Okay, there we are. Now I can start. Anyways, what I was saying was, yeah, we basically got it down to an art. We find the order, we get the order. 30 seconds after the truck enters our garage, we already have the door stripped off. We have one guy going out to go paint it. We have another guy putting the stickers on the chassis. And then if there's other parts, like they want new tires and a new roof rack, we have those on order, like immediately after we send the truck over to the decals. And then by the time all the parts are done, being painted, truck's done being, you know, sticker booked, like less than maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and that truck is already out of our shop. I mean, it got to the point where we had 40 pages of parts from all the stuff that we were just ripping off of the client's trucks and everything. I mean, we had enough tires to where I had to go AFK the other day, because for, you know, Mother's Day and everything, and I basically left the game running because the servers are hosted locally, like pretty much any other game these days, until they get the whole dedicated server thing bashed out. But anyways, I was standing over here in the corner, and then I come back, or I just walked by my room, and I noticed like a black outline on my screen. And I come back and sit down and I move my character, and it's like they encased me in a fort of tires. We had that many tires, and I was playing Heavy D. Granted, he's not that tall. I mean, of course, especially compared to the muscle. I mean, the muscle, he's like, it's huge. You saw how tall I was standing on that screen over there. But there's a CPU. And there we are. Anyways, yeah. So if you get it down to an art, and everyone knows what they're going to be doing, you could get jobs done in like 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the complexity level. Of course, granted, when it came to the stickers, a lot of the trucks didn't look nice, or didn't look pretty, but That's what happens when you're asking for like 17 million different stickers on your truck, and you give us a tight deadline for completion. Which I am pretty sure. Well, actually, I don't know if you look or not in the upper right corner. You could see that like 1 minute is like 1 second, or a little bit fast. No, it's actually faster than a second. So you really got to keep the pace up in this game, especially when it comes to the higher detailed builds. I mean, it's just ridiculous at times. But hey, it is what it is, and it's fun. I mean, like I was saying earlier, or at the beginning of the video, this has only been out for less than 96 hours. I think it's the 96-hour point right now. And oh man, they've had so many updates and everything, so many improvements. And recently, they also had a straw poll for what people wanted to see being implemented in the game next. And it looks like new workshop parts are coming in. So instead of like how you saw me just pick up the rim and put the tire on, and I can just take the tire off and rim falls, they're actually going to be adding in a tire balancer and everything to where you have to use the proper equipment to put the tires on, or the rubber on the rims, balance the tires, and all that other fun stuff. Which honestly, and the other funny thing is, I was just complaining about this the other night. It's like, we could put in a transmission and everything, but we can't change. We can put in an engine, but we can't change the stupid oil filter on there. Well, lo and behold, I guess someone tapped into my headset or something, or they snuck into my Discord channel. Anyways, they're adding in an oil changing station too, so where you have to actually drain the engine oil, store it in a pan, and all that other, or not store it in a pan, but just store it, drain the pan, put new oil in, etc., etc. Which honestly, man, I know I say that a lot, but it does add a nice level of realism, and it also, if you ask me, it's a good way to learn how to do proper auto maintenance on your vehicles. Like, I'm currently going to school to become a pilot. I'm about to get my private pilot license, and one of the things that they teach us is our pre-flight. And what we do is we actually have to go out to the airplane, and what my instructor likes to call it is we do a courtesy car check. So what I do is I go up, I check the oil level, check the fuel level, and I see if it needs either of the two. If it's not, or if it doesn't need it, great, and then I proceed to my pre-flight. But a lot of people, I find this it's really shocking. Of course, then again, you don't have a lot of, or there's not a lot of car savvy people out there, or even people who do basic maintenance, like checking the oil levels and everything. That was one of the points I was going to get to. This was funny and scary at the same time. One of the gals that I was going to college with, up until that point, she never knew that she had to check and change the oil on her vehicle. And we're talking about someone who, granted, she does it now because, of our flight training and everything. But, yeah. Granted, mind you, this is really only applicable to the general aviation industry, like Cessna 172s, Piper Cherokees, and stuff like that. The majors, they still do their walk around, yeah, but it's kind of hard to check the oil levels in a massive jet turbine with a cowling on it and everything. With the walk around, we're basically just looking at the flight control surfaces, the fuselage, brakes, tire conditions, stuff like that, to see if there's any damage or wear or if anything's loose, because we don't want anything to fall off the aircraft while we're in flight, or like say we're coming in for a landing, we would like to stop. So having good tires prevent a blowout on landing, and then having brakes, that means you can actually stop, because with small aircraft like Cessnas and everything, they don't have what is called a variable pitch propeller. And even then, a lot of them don't have reverse thrust. And with the variable pitch propeller, you can actually change the angle of pitch on the blade to where you can set it for better climb, better speed, or in some cases, you know, you can use it for braking. A lot of jet engines, however, do have reverse thrust. Like if you notice, if you're ever flying on an airliner and you're sitting on the window where you can see the engine, right when you touch down, you notice like a hatch opens up on the side of the engine cowling, and then it gets all loud and everything, and the plane feels like someone's slamming down the brakes. Which sometimes, depending on the runway length, they are like laying on the brakes. But the reverse thrust basically diverts the thrust that's used to go forward out the sides of the engine there in kind of like a backward motion to basically act like a giant air brake. One aircraft that can use that as a backup mechanism is the C-130 Hercules. They have, so with them they're known as a turboprop. So it's a propeller-driven aircraft powered by a jet engine. So basically, the jet engine part is producing thrust to turn the propeller, rather than to push the plane like an actual jet airplane. And with the C-130, they can actually turn the blade of the propeller around, where they could not only stop, but if they wanted to, they could back up the aircraft as well. This works wonders if you're doing a short field landing on, you know, a dirt runway. Anyways, gotta love how we went from automobiles, trucks and cars and whatnot to airplanes. Let's see. And I hope you start to learn something new about aviation today. Oh, also, for those of you who have gone to an airport and they say that it's too hot for the airplane to fly and get all mad at pilots and everything, it's like, why can't you go flying? That's for your safety, because airplanes do not like flying in heat, because the heat makes the air more sparse, like molecule level. I have everything out here already. Anyways, so it pushes the particles further apart, so it's like there's less stuff. I'm using air quotes here to keep the plane up. So whenever they say airplanes have been grounded because it's too hot, that's because the airplane's wings will not make enough lift to get that couple million pounds of aluminum wire and to get up in the air. And that's your samurai tip of the day. Or, you're not tip, but samurai fact of the day. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so we got the rear suspension on. We're working on the front end here. I do believe yes, we can. So I don't know if you've been watching what I've been doing. Granted, I'm kind of doing it a little fast here, but there are different steps that you have to do in order to get parts to connect. So like I had to build the whole the whole front suspension here, especially with the lift kit and everything, to get the transmission up there. Or not the transmission, the front differential up there. And then now with that, the steering arm, that there. Where's my other steering arm? Still in the back? Oh, that's right there. There. Oh, for those of you who do play this game and who do not know yet, a really fancy button to use. If you, in case you can never find your impact drill, press and hold 1. You'll see that it actually has a beacon indicating where it's at. Also, if you're kind of stuck on what's missing on a vehicle, I'll actually use the truck here. You can actually press Q, and it tells you what's missing on the truck and what's not fully installed. Granted, it'd be nice if it actually highlighted where the parts on the truck were missing, but this game's still coming out. Let's see. The start putting... Yes, we can. So put this one here. Take this one here. Take this. Start screwing in the lower arm. Yeah, you know, one of these days I'll look into getting a webcam and then putting up a green screen, but I'm in my room and I doubt you guys want to see that. Do left front. Oh, wait, no, we're still missing this. So that could go there. Other one is somewhere. Right where I left it. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. Pull gun. Screwing in everything one at a time. That's done on this arm. On this arm here. That's one thing that kind of annoys me is, like, I'm trying to... I mean, you could see it on my screen here. I'm trying to screw down everything here, but there are times where I can't get the cursor because of sensitivity to get into the right spot. That's why... there we go. There we go. That's why I love the mouse that I have, which is a Logitech G502. Not sponsored, by the way. Anyways, the G502, one, not only does it have, like, what was it, like, I think 20 programmable buttons on it, or 11 programmable buttons on it, but you can actually change the colors on it too. Actually pretty neat. And with the Logitech gaming software, you can also have it change colors with your keyboard if you also have a Logitech keyboard that lights up. But one of the nice features is you can actually change the sensitivity level on it to slow it down. Like right now, right now I have it on the lowest setting on parts, and you can kind of tell that I look a little more sluggish. Now I can actually put it at the top setting, and I'm like looking everywhere at a mile a minute. And sorry if I just made anyone sick off of that. Let's see, where's the other spot? There it is. So back to what we're doing. Right now we are installing the splash rotors, or the rotor splash shield. And I have to finish that. I looked right at it. Right, so the rotor splash shield basically protects the backside of the brake rotors. So that way, like, you know, when you go to the puddle or anything, it keeps it from, well, granted they're still when you're wet, it keeps anything from coming in on the backside and getting in between the brake pad and the rotor. And also, mind you, I am no professional mechanic by any means, car sense or aviation sense. So I'm just going off of what I've learned over the years, basically. You know, from helping Dad out in the yard, our fleet of vehicles. The cool thing about my dad, so he was a trucker for, what, 45 years. 50 years, somewhere in that time frame. And whenever I wasn't going with my grandmother to visit family in Japan, he would take me with him on the summer. And he actually taught me the ins and outs of all three of our rigs. Granted, we didn't have 3 rigs at once. We had them over a period of years. We had a 94, a 96, and a 2000, all Kenworths. The 94 was a Kenworth T800 with a 13 Detroit diesel in it. Then the other one was the 98 was a W900 Aero Cab that had a I want to say it was a Cat in that. I can't remember. That was also a either a 13 or a 18 speed. Anyways, the last one that we had, I do remember, it was a W900 Studio Sleeper, which is the largest sleeper that you can get. That's not a custom sleeper. But the last one, yeah, it was a W900 Studio Sleeper with 18 speed transmission and a 550 cat in it. And oh man, that was honestly our best rig. He even agrees that was our best rig. It was a beautiful sky blue, or kind of like a light sky blue color. And in the back we had a sleeper. In the sleeper, we had a couch that actually folded out into a full-sized. Yeah, it was a full-sized bed. And there was also bunk back there. We had, what was it? Yeah, we had bunk. We had refrigerator, closets, plenty of storage space, a pull-out table. All we were missing was the microwave. But we didn't have any restrictions on there. Like, you know, we didn't have any governors or speed restrictors on there. No RPM limiters. And I remember this one time we were, I want to say it was in Texas or New Mexico. Anyways, that was we were hauling like 36,000 pounds of onions. We were in 17th gear, doing 105 miles an hour. Bloody hell! Again, hold on. Okay, so gotta love persistence. And I dropped. And I might as well just press 1 to speak to the representative and then tell them, ah, this is harassment. Using my number. So, on that note, you know, in this day and age, there's a lot of people who aren't tech savvy. I mean, there are varying degrees of tech savvy. Like, you have the professionals who build everything from, like, you know, circuit board to ground up. Then you have the everyday user, like, pretty much you and me. Granted, okay, I did go to school to do computer maintenance. Like, I could build one, not from the circuit board up, but I could build computers from the motherboard up. Leave it at that. But you got a lot of people out there, and I know I'm just kind of rambling on, but I'm hoping it makes good conversation. Especially since this is a pre-recorded episode, and I'm not doing it live. But you gotta love that there's people out there who love to prey on the weak and the uneducated. I'm saying that with air quotes. That they're calling like, oh, yeah, this is and you can tell it's a pre-recorded message too. Like, yeah, this is Microsoft, and we're just calling to let you know that your IP address has been compromised in multiple countries, and your Windows key is about to expire. And because of that, your Windows key is about to expire. Please press 1 now to talk to a representative, reset your IP, and to fix your Windows key. Or there was this one that I loved what I did with this last time. There was this one that's calling saying, hello, this is Microsoft tech support, and we're just calling to let you know that we've been getting notifications from your computer, and it's been sending us viruses. So we'd like to help get rid of the viruses on your computer, install TeamViewer, and then I can help you, blah, blah, blah. Well, they've tried multiple times before, that same exact line and everything. It's a scam. If you have issues, Microsoft is not going to call you and say, hey, you have problems with your computer. No, if you have problems, you call them. They don't call you. Unless you email them to call you. Even then, ask for an employee identification number or something that can actually verify that they are with Microsoft. Anyways,
last time those guys tried calling me, and it was from a call center from India too. No offense to the Indian people. I mean, one, I love the food. Two, I used to have or I still kind of do, have a friend who's from over there. But yeah, they were saying, yeah, you know, we're getting messages from your computer that you have a virus and it's sending us messages. Here, let me help you do that. And then I tell them, I was like, okay, so my Windows computer, huh? Which one is it? Like, your Windows computer, sir. Like, okay, I have 5 in the house. Which one is it? Are you currently sitting at one? Yes, that one. Okay, what's the MAC address of it? And then he just started going ballistic on me to where he was like yelling at the top of his lungs, and he even got his air quote manager unquote to come in and try to talk sense to me. And it just completely destroyed. If you know what you say and you are convincing on how you say it, you could destroy them anytime they call you. So like with these people, I'm really tempted to pick up the phone. Like, oh yeah, so which computer? Or it's like, oh, thank you for letting me know that my IP was compromised and my Windows key is about to expire, even though I just got it. Please, sir, tell me what I need to do. Like, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, which IP, which MAC address did you say it was? What's the system specs that you're seeing on this one? Yeah. Long story short, people, please be very vigilant when you are contacted like that, especially if they're using a spoof number that looks like something you would recognize, or in this case, your actual number. Because again, these guys have been calling me since 7 in the morning to try to get me to fall for their thing. And like I said, they use my mother's correct spelling of her first name, our last name, and they're actually using our home phone number to call the home phone number. Okay, so we got all of that finished. So the chassis itself is complete. I get the axle. If you're not sure if everything's connected, you could press this, or press Q. Oh, radiator's not installed. So you can press Q, and it'll tell you what's missing and what's not fully connected. Okay, so I think next, what we're going to do is we get the tires on, and it's time to go to the paint shop. Go figure. I was only hoping that this would take maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but with everything, including the little break that I did, it's like already over an hour. Thank you guys for sticking with me for the long haul. Even though I'm not that entertaining. Nope. Nope. God damn it. Okay, there we are. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're putting the tires on, and mind you, they're not finished yet. We actually still have to take the impact wrench and tighten down the lug nuts on here, just like an actual car. So, find your impact wrench, and what I like to do too is I like to raise it up a little bit so you don't actually have to crouch down to get all the bolt or the lug nuts. And then we just switch it down. I love the sniffles. Goes here. And go figure it out, I'm being texted, but this time by my actual mother. Which were, if you guys didn't know, Nurses Week was last week. You know, anyone in your families or friends who are a nurse, just tell them how much you appreciate what they do. I mean, nurses really do make a difference. They're the ones who make everything happen. The doctors are there briefly, just to
either do a diagnosis or surgery or give you a prescription. Nurses are the ones who really do all the heavy lifting. They, especially in the third department, she works in the ER. Nurses are the ones who take your vitals, make sure you're comfortable, get the medicine that the doctor's ordered, clean you up if you're, some horrible cases, filthy. They do all the housekeeping, change the linens, help the patients go to the bathroom, give the patients sponge baths if necessary, bring the food in. So if you or anyone in your family or friends are nurses or know a nurse, thank you guys for all you do. Without you guys, hospitals would be miserable and doctors would be even more miserable. Okay, let's see. Okay, I believe now it's time to go to the paint. So here, as you can see, we have our truck chassis pretty much actually completed. Engine, radiator, turbocharger, all that fun stuff. Frames done, shocks are done, transmissions put in. So what you want to do now, you want to press M to bring up like your, map. And here, this is where you can go to different sites in the game. I mean, granted, you'd even walk outside to the backyard. You can go to the scrapyard, sandblasting, the painting booth. Decal shop, I have yet to find out how to get there from the backyard. I mean, it's probably just around the corner, but there's a lot of junk back there. Then over here in the auction, that's where you could buy or sell your car. Playground, that's a free roam area. It's a nice dirt path and everything. Then you have a quarter-mile drag strip here. And over here you have your off-road racetrack. I haven't been there yet. Me and the guys have only been in these two areas here because we like screwing around. But this is where we're going to go to right now, is the paint shop. And loading screen simulator. Okay, here we are. So this is where the magic of your creations come to life. So here you have, your cab, all the parts that I preloaded into the transport here. And then, okay, yeah, I can reach it. So with this one, the paint gun's going to be here. If it's not up here normally on the floor, you know they're supposed to fix that. Then we go to the paint booth here, and then you have different colors and everything that you can choose from. And what's nice is there's a little strip right here, just spinning on top, that you can see what it's going to turn out like. So like if I went with a solid Maya blue, and also shows you a color history here, but you see that's what it's going to look like. You could do a matte, metallic, which I'll wait for it to spin around again before it's... Okay, so there's your metallic. Then you have pearlescent, chameleon, which is actually pretty cool because it's that Maya blue, but it changes colors from the different perspectives that you're looking at it, as you can kind of see as it spins around there. Then you also have your flake, which is like those really nice metallic colors that you see on some cars that kind of have that little sparkle to them. I think with this one, let's see. Ooh, yeah, let's do a metallic red. And you right click, fill it up. And then if you press T, you can see the controls here on how to change things. Oh, I tried G. Let's see. Let's try. Let's see. Let's get a little... Okay, that was metallic. Let's try pearlescent. See how that looks instead. Mind you, so with this, it actually shows you in the upper left corner here how much that style of paint will cost. And then that's also per refill as well. So every time you refill your spray gun here, it charges you that amount of money. Into the pit. Well, let's see what it looks like. I'm not feeling the red. Ooh, that midnight's nice. Let's see, what about a midnight pearlescent? Okay, yeah, we'll try this. Oh, okay. So that's how that does that. That makes sense. Okay, so the flatten and expand, if you notice, which call me late to the party, slow to figure it out, but over where you have your coloring and then the fill gauge for your spray gun there, you'll notice that whenever you use flatten or expand, it actually adjusts the spraying design more or less. So with this one, this is like a nice circle. See how it looks like in the door. You know, if you really wanted to, you could actually take all your parts over to the sandblaster, get the original coat of paint off and everything, or with a nice blank stainless steel or aluminum canvas. But you really don't have to. Although I highly suggest doing that if you're working with rust in this game, because that rust will show through. Yeah. Ooh, yes, that looks beautiful. This is going to be a bitchin' truck. I'm not monetized, so screw it. It'd be nice if I was monetized, but I'll make enough videos to do that. And honestly, I really need to stop saying that. So, when it comes to the whole build process and everything, this is one of the more tedious ones aside from the stickers. Because you're literally painting every part by hand. Which I'm sure you can tell. But this is also where having friends come in handy. Like you have one guy on painting, one guy on detail or the stickers, the decaling instead of detailing. And then you can have one guy in the shop putting on the parts as they're spraying. Like I was mentioning earlier, when four of us, myself, Matt, Bacon, Evan are playing, we have one guy in the paint shop here working on that, working on the painting, and we have one guy over in the sticker shop, the stickers on. We have the other two in the garage actually assembling the truck. Oh, nice. Oh, that looks beautiful. Makes me want to repaint the truck outside. Also, that one thing I'm kind of glad for right now is that there's part damage. One thing I did notice with the flake is that it actually does show where you put more of a concentration in compared to other spots, which is interesting. I mean, it's a level of detail that I don't think a lot of people noticed. But anyway, while you're painting here anyways, it seems like it shows up more. So like say I could do a high concentration here, then I just went like this around here, you would see that the flakes look more spread out up top there compared to the flakes everywhere else on the door or the frame or whatever you're spraying at that time. Got you. And then I fill out, which, you know, I honestly, there I go again with honestly, I do hope that they bring in different grill styles rather than just names. Because right now, grills, they pretty much all look the same. The hoods, they have some variances. Like, again, some actually do have hood scoops, or they have the ram air. They have slight, not too much variables, though. Slight, but not too many variables. Or variances. Always make sure you have the blue highlight before you try to put the tool up. Grill. I love it when parts go flying everywhere. Just like your tools. Put it down, next thing you know, it's on the other side of the store, upside down in the box. Thank God I did not lose a 10mm wrench yet. Thank God you can't lose a 10mm wrench in here, or socket. I mean, that's like the bane of every auto mechanic's like work, trying to find a 10mm socket or something, just to find out that you lost your 10mm socket ages ago.
long as it's in the trailer, I am happy. Okay, so there's our first truck. Now with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to go to management, transfer, and from the paint shop, you can click the cab here, and then you can click it on slot A, and then that'll install the cab on the chassis here, which you can see there. Then we come to storage here, we click bed, and then we put that in the paint shop. Now, you start assembling the cab. This means we can also put on our side steps. I almost forgot what they were. Take roof rack. Yep. A bumper. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. Okay, lights. One headlight. Two little headlights. Let's see. Fender. Not a cousin of Bender. There we are. Hood. There. In fact, we can actually drop this a little bit. Okay, getting the doors. Okay, not so much yet, so that can go over here. Yeah, no, you gotta love how I just chucked all my parts. So this is your door here. Headlight cover. That's this side. You know, on it. You know, I wish with the headlamp covers here that bars were going horizontal rather than vertical. And I also wish you could get them for the tail lights too. I mean, look at Jeep. I own one and I love mine anyway. But if you notice, a lot of them, the armored lights and everything, they have it to where they have the grill or the grates on the rear tail lamps, and they're going horizontal instead of vertical. And even with a lot of the front headlights, they're, well, okay, fog lights I've seen them go either way, horizontal or vertical. Oh, what? It's not here? The whole reason why we went to the paint shop. Let's see. Go all the way back to the computer. Management, transfer, storage. Because it's in storage. Okay, it's there. It's still there. Going to painting. Shimon Loading Simulator 2019. There we are. Which, although I do say this has some of the shortest loading times compared to other games. I mean, there's like other games where you're sitting there for like 15, 20, 30 minutes waiting for either a level to load or just something to load. Of course, that also has something to do with hard drive speed, space, etc., etc. Or it could just be unoptimized. Fill your tank. Yes, why? Thank you for that message. That is one sexy bed. Wrong button. And drop. Mind you, escape works on some things, not all of the things. Okay, computer, management, transfer, paint shop. And good, it's on the truck. Let us get this here. And let us this here. Ooh, that looks good. No, I didn't want to drop it. I wanted it right there. Put this here. Gotta screw everything in. They can say, screw you, bed. Bad joke. Hour and a half. We can probably get this done before 2 hours. Close the bed. There we are. Suck the chassis down for the cab to the chassis, so crouch down. Okay, so that one's good. Oh, come on. I'm like right on there. There we go. Pain in my existence. That. Good. That's on the other side. There we go. Okay, there's there. Screws for days. But the good thing is you don't have to worry about losing them in this one. Like real life. But you have these that have been missing already. And yes, I'm going to bring it to the horrible pun there. Or here. Good. And crouch. Stand. And crouch. And inspection. And that is how you build a truck from the ground up. That's how you... Okay then. Say. Good drill. Good drill. And there you have it, folks. Our... Oh, that actually looks more like a Ford Raptor now than it does anything else. But that is a beautiful truck right there. And that's how you get it done, folks. So, hope you guys learned a lot. Thanks for putting up my rambling for an hour and 35 minutes. I hope to see you again soon. And keep in touch with my channel and everything, which you can do by hitting the subscribe button down somewhere. I think it's on the right. Hit the notification bell too if you want to get some updates. I do post videos from my dash cam that I get and something interesting or stupid happens, like letting me off and all that other fun stuff.
Or you can also, yeah, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you guys here soon with hopefully the full crew.